All
What's
right, guys.
poppin'?
Yeah, what's up? So today we decided we'd do a kind of different episode. We're gonna do a theory crafting video where we've been talking in between this last episode and this one, and yeah, just about things that we think have been going down. And I think you proposed a theory. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. So as the title probably says, Zeke is sus.
Zeke.
Um, Zeke has been on some sus shit for honestly the whole season, and only now I think is it very clear that the things he's been doing have been sus. But basically, I think that Zeke is in some way or another allied with the Paradis forces. The extent to which we don't know, but I guess we're gonna go over some evidence as to why he is allied with them and yeah, how he reveals that.
All right. So I think the first thing we're gonna kind of do is show you guys some scenes that we noticed where Zeke's kind of his intentions aren't really too clear, whereas with the other soldiers that work for Marley, it's pretty obvious that they're with Marley fully devoted. So yeah, we'll get into the first one here.
Yeah. So this is, at the end of season 3. Zeke is having a real heartfelt moment with Aaron, saying that, he's been brainwashed by their father. But Zeke then says, Aaron, someday I'm coming back to rescue you. This is supremely sus because uh, at this moment, like as a viewer, we didn't really know who Marley was or like what their plans were. So I guess it seemed kind of reasonable that like part of their plan involved like rescuing Aaron. But we know now that it was really just to recover Aaron, to claim the founding Titan. And if Zeke was just thinking about, oh, like let's get Aaron and bring him back, he wouldn't say rescue. Like kidnap sounds more accurate in that case. So it seems here that even in season 3, we can tell that Zeke isn't totally aligned with the
Even
Marleyan forces.
yeah, and even based on what we know about the Warriors, and even what Willie said in the sixth or fifth episode, it's pretty clear that Marley holds Aaron as the villain, and they want to get his founding Titan. They want to cause some harm to him, basically stop what he's doing. But this line from Zeke pretty much directly goes against that and shows that Zeke has some kind of like compassion for Aaron and wants to help him in some way. Otherwise,
Mm.
this scene would just be completely unnecessary and just wouldn't fit with what
Yeah.
his real intentions are.
So this is evidence point 1 that Zeke is sus. Now we're
Yeah.
going to move on to a different episode.
All right. Yeah. And then this is going to be our second piece of evidence. Do you want to go ahead and explain what we mean?
Yeah. So this is right after they destroyed the um, Mid East Allied forces. And this is after they had a war meeting. And during the war meeting, Zeke says something like, oh, I'm afraid Colt won't be able to inherit the full powers of the Beast Titan. In response to that, Zeke goes, sorry I bashed you to further my agenda, Colt. So I think what this is just saying is that Zeke has like secrets and agendas that are not aligned with Marley. Zeke and Marley are definitely not on the same page. And then the other thing he says is, when you inherit my memories, you'll find out my big secret. So obviously, what we can read this as is just that he has royal blood, right? Like, I think that's what the viewer is expected to know. But maybe this big secret is even bigger, and it's that, like, I have royal blood, and also I'm, like, not really with Marley.
Yeah. Just once again, they drop lines by Zeke that completely don't make sense when you look at him as a diehard Marley soldier. It
Mm.
just wouldn't make sense for him to have this like ulterior motive or agenda that would be different from just what the Marley and higher ups want, where if they capture Aaron, they bring him back and then they get the founding titan in their grasps. So yeah, I definitely think that Zeke, even just from these two lines, if you can read into it pretty heavily, that Zeke's intentions don't line up with what Marley has in store.
I'm going to cut real quick to the other piece of evidence in this episode that really just drives home the point, and I think will probably be our final point of evidence just to establish that Zeke is not with Marley, but it's at 1940. Right, yeah, that not in this room line. So Colt or Galliard just asked where the brass are, and Zeke says not in this room, right? Which basically Reiner reads into it and Commander Magath reads into it, and I think that that's what Zeke intended, right? for this to be a low key way to tell them that they're being listened to, which shows that, if he knew that they were being listened to and he was a diehard Marley supporter, he wouldn't say something like this. So I think after seeing these pieces of evidence, you should be convinced that Zeke is not all the way with Marley. You can say he's maybe some way for them, but he's not a diehard Marley supporter. And then next, we're going to move into some of the more, I guess, technical points about what Zeke knew. This is the sort of on the scene piece of information that shows Zeke is a little sus. So this soldier calls the warriors to, do something, right? And we obviously see later in this episode that this soldier is not legit, right? This person is really sus. And this is maybe a bit reading into things, but if we look at the other ones, right? If we look at Galliard, Colt, and Peak, they are like kind of like side-eyeing this soldier, like, what are you talking about? Why would this be happening? But Zeke, his eyes are, his glasses are totally white. And this is sort of a trope in anime, right? That like when a character knows more than they should, or is maybe being a little bit of a liar, their glasses are like totally white.
Yeah, I mean, we have more evidence, but this alone fully like cements in my head that Zeke knows something here. Because they show that literally all of the other three are just looking at this soldier like, that's kind of weird. But Zeke has no reaction whatsoever. And yeah, like you said, the whole anime thing where the glasses are not clear usually means that that person's being sus and that they either know something or that they're keeping a secret.
Right. So this is the next part in the episode where Zeke's being a little sus, right? So he gets sent to the other gate away from Galliard and Peak. So first off, why would they separate him if they were just trying to trap him too? Like, I think that there's 0% chance that wherever Zeke was sent, he was trapped in a similar fashion. Furthermore, Peak seems so sus of this soldier from the beginning, uh, to the point that, she tells the Panzer unit, and Zeke and Peak seem to be on the same page a lot. So Zeke would have totally been sus too if he didn't know, right, that either something was going down today, or maybe he personally knows this soldier.
Yeah, I think this scene, I mean, we obviously know later on that this soldier is sus. And the fact that, like what you just said, it's pretty clear that Zeke and Peak are both pretty smart and on similar wavelengths in terms of like when they pick up on stuff, if not Zeke being smart or being the war chief. So the fact that Peak would notice this and say something and Zeke to just be completely silent and completely just follow what this soldier was telling him does not seem in character for someone that's supposed to be like this war chief that's super intelligent. And also, this goes a little bit into what's going to happen later on that we see in this most recent episode. But we see that Zeke just joins the battle up normally, and he doesn't really seem like he's in any hurry to get back. He just kind of walks back in very calm and joins the battle. But it doesn't really make sense to me for Zeke for at least whatever this soldier's plan is, to send Zeke walking somewhere else and then them start this attack and then just have Zeke walk back. It seems like a waste of time and it doesn't really seem necessary. If not, just trap Zeke somewhere, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Why wouldn't they incapacitate Zeke?
Yeah, so in this most recent episode, episode 7, we finally see Zeke pull up after, I think, episode and a half gap. We haven't seen him since he was sent to that gate. And I think the time doesn't really match up with what would make sense. Because we know in episode 6, after the fighting starts, Peak and Galliard get out of their trap, and Peak tells the Panzer unit, okay, I need 10 minutes, we need to go and join this battle. And for Peak to put on a full set of armor, get 4 people inside of her, and be there before Zeke, who supposedly was just off at the gate, we don't know what he was doing, to bite his hand and run over there, it doesn't seem like it would make sense in the timeline. And the fact that he
Yeah,
pulls up just like so calm, like walking up, he doesn't really seem like he's in any hurry, really. And both of those just seem kind of sus to me.
yeah. It totally. So first off, if Zeke didn't know that shit was going down and wasn't like okay with, maybe Galliard getting messed up a bit, um, he would have run over. He would have like been here immediately. But he comes real calmly with way too much time, right? There was like at least 15 minutes from when Aaron showed up to now.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, and yeah, what were you doing for 15 minutes? Like,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
sounds short, but like, in battle time, that's like, 2 hours.
It's
Yeah.
also just the fact that Peak and Galliard are both in such a massive hurry to get there, And
Hmm.
it's just like, oh, let me take my time.
So, also, I think we should talk about what we think was happening in those 15 minutes that Zeke was just chilling.
Yeah,
Um, so, yeah, I think we don't know the exact specifics, but we think that Zeke went there and rendezvoused with Paradis forces and or like, well, at least rendezvoused with Levi, I think. We think that Zeke and Levi formed some sort of plan together, right? Like in 30 minutes exactly, you're going to come slice me up and dice me up. We don't know, we'll talk more about like the scene where Levi slices up Zeke, but come on, clearly Zeke didn't die there. We think that Zeke is like now, like maybe on their airship or just with the Paradis forces, and that's what they figured out at the gate.
to some extent, it seems like he's helping the Paradis soldiers. So, like you said, we just think that he went talked to someone, maybe not Levi, just someone on the enemy forces, and like you said, derived a plan that they're going to execute to get Zeke out of here, make that the Marlians think that he's dead, and escape with him.
So there's one more line that happens at the beginning of this episode that makes things seem a little sus, and it's not even from Zeke; it's from Levi. Um, Levi goes, "Don't die on me, survive." So obviously, what this is intended for the viewer to immediately think is, "Oh yeah, Paradis forces, don't die, survive. Let's win this attack." But also, I think that there's some double meaning going on here, and that he's also talking to Zeke here, uh, hoping that Zeke is able to survive long enough for Levi to come yoink him out.
Yeah, definitely. I think something that Attack on Titan does all the time is they have these lines that kind of fit what they want you to think, but then we later see that it completely gave hint to what is later on revealed. Like a lot of lines with Ryan and Bertolt talking to Aaron kind of foreshadow the fact that they're actually Titan shifters, but at the time they made full sense just being that they're normal people and friends of Aaron. So I think yes, this could just be a throwaway line that Levi's making to the squad, but Levi doesn't really do this kind of stuff. This is more
Yeah,
Aaron's field. You know, Levi's never been the type to like inspire and get his soldiers to fight on. It doesn't really make sense for him to make this statement unless there's some deeper meaning to it. I just couldn't see Levi just being like, "Oh yeah, don't die on me, guys."
so now we're going to talk about this part right here where, you know, Peak says that we should focus on protecting Zeke in the meantime. Uh, and then Zeke has a response. He goes, "That's Peak for you, precisely." And then he says some A plus sus stuff right here.
Even S
So
tier, I would say.
S tier, I might say. So first off, he throws these rocks, not even at anyone. But okay, come on. Aaron Jaeger is not my enemy.
Mhm.
So we talked about at the beginning of this video. Zeke seems to be an Aaron sympathizer. We don't know how that has evolved over these years. Maybe Aaron has gone too far for him now. But come on, he just said Aaron Jaeger is not my enemy,
Yeah,
and then he goes something else or someone else comes first.
definitely. Yeah.
Um, I also think one thing that we could read out of this is that we don't know how much, or it doesn't seem like Aaron knows all of Paradis's plan. And this could be Zeke trying to tell Aaron uh, that he's allied with them
Yeah, that's
because,
possible.
you know, you look someone in the eye and you tell them, "You are not my enemy."
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, what are you supposed to take out of that,
yeah,
right?
that's not a very hostile statement. Directly, once again, goes against the speech that was just made 2 episodes ago, where Aaron Yeager is the enemy. You know,
Yeah, right. Now, someone else comes first. He never actually said anyone is an enemy.
he didn't. Yeah,
No one's an enemy.
Mhm.
Someone else comes first. Show yourself, Levi. And the most sus thing in this whole episode, this goddamn timer.
Yeah, so initially and I think almost everyone else's reading on what this was just them seeing how long before Armin transforms. But you actually changed my mind, and it doesn't really make sense for them to be doing that. Yes, they could be holding out for Armin to transform, but what does knowing how much longer it's going to be really do for them? It's going to be pretty clear when he transforms, there's going to be a massive light and a massive explosion. So them waiting for that and biding time for that doesn't make sense because it's going to happen when it's going to happen.
Yeah,
But if there's a plan where Levi's going to attack Zeke at a certain point and Zeke's going to have to do something, then that would make a lot more sense because only Levi's looking at that stopwatch. No one else is like checking the time or anything. It specifically pans in on Levi looking at this watch with the line "Show yourself, Levi." Yeah, and
um,
even this statement alone that he just made, where I don't even care about Aaron, I want to fight Levi, is just so sus in of
yeah,
itself. Why are you
yes.
like the whole reason that they're here and the whole reason that Marley even wants to attack Paradis is because of Aaron, because Aaron has the founding Titans. So why, as the war chief of Marley or of the warriors of Marley, are you gonna say Aaron Jaeger is not my enemy? He should
Come
be
on,
enemy
dude.
number one for you. He should
Come
be
on,
the
dude.
only person that you care about defeating.
And now let's look at the scene itself. Kind of the last scene that Zeke gets here.
Mhm.
Um, we can see him on the floor there, but
Yeah.
yeah, Levi going in. So right, this happens, and then Peak goes War Chief. Here comes their attack, and this was honestly a funny scene while I was watching. Like, dang, really did it like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, we see Levi do this. Um, yeah, now Zeke is down, right? And we would think that, oh, it looks like Levi got his nape, but whether it's like some sort of like consciousness thing, like Reiner did in season 3, or just something else, Zeke doesn't seem dead, and the most damning part is right here. Um, right, so they're looking up. Levi comes down. He blows this thing up. Huge puff of smoke.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
No, it makes no sense. We've never seen anyone do that before. And we've seen specifically Levi rip Zeke out of the Beast Titan before. And all of his limbs. Like, if Levi could do that back then, I'm sure he's only gotten stronger since then. Why would he not just cut his nape right there? End it all.
Yeah. So I think our theory is that this is just a smoke screen, and literally in this frame, if we could see through the smoke, Levi would be, yeah, probably cutting out Zeke
Yeah.
and zipping away,
Mhm.
um, going back into hiding.
Yeah. I know some people may say that this whole thing could be explained by him wanting to save the Beast Titan so that Aaron could eat the Beast Titan. But as we talked about in the previous episode, Aaron does not seem too focused on eating the Titans. Otherwise, he'd have already had 4 of them. He took his time eating the Warhammer Titan once. Well, I guess he didn't really take his time. He had to wait for the Jaw Titan. But even when he had the Jaw Titan at the end of this episode, he could have just chomped real quick instead of bashing his head on the ground. He would have had the Jaw Titan. It doesn't really make sense for them to save him if Aaron doesn't seem too focused on eating the Titans yet.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much our theory in its entirety. There's some things that we don't know, right? How much is Zeke aligned with Paradis? How much does Zeke know? How long has Zeke been in contact with Paradis? But the basic theory is that he has been in contact with Paradis or the conspirators for some time, and what happened in episode 7 was a ruse to get him away from them.
Yeah, just like you said, pretty much Zeke is sus. Like the title of the episode will probably be. That's pretty much just our theory. As to the specifics, I think it's too hard right now, as with most theories that we have with Attack on Titan, to get the specifics down just because there's so many different variables that could change or that we don't know about. But it definitely seems like, at least to some degree, Zeke is helping the Paradis soldiers.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we will see you on Monday when we talk about episode 8. But
Yeah,
till then.
like and subscribe. We'll see you guys then.